Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a while since I have been on here. Oh my gosh. So I was really busy for a while. Like after that last reading, I just had just a ton of sessions and readings and all kinds of stuff going on. And then I ended up feeling guided to do a parasite cleanse. I didn't even know if I had parasites, but I saw this ad for this thing. It was a frequency-based parasite cleanse. So flower essences and frequencies, probably through a Rife machine or something. But I just knew to do it. I just knew to take this. So I ordered it, and my daughter and I started. And I thought oh, it'll be really gentle, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into because there's no issue with the blood-brain barrier, and it's not just concentrated to the stomach, the abdomen. It's just anywhere. It hits everywhere. So the first thing that happened for me was this sort of defragging of this parasitical program that was running in me, which I've known about for the last 2.5 years. But it started literally defragging inside of my body, and it separated out because often those types of programs will they'll pose as your own voice, or they know how to hide, and they know how to just stay really off the radar. But it started to separate out where I could see it as really separate from myself. And actually, at first, I didn't know what was going on. I started panicking because I thought that I was defragging, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's you get on a ride, some plant medicine or something, and you can't get off until it's over. That's kind of how I felt. I was just okay, I'm on for the ride now. But then I realized, I just kind of asked, and I realized what was going on, So that was the very first thing that happened right away. So really powerful stuff. It's called Freedom Flowers is the company, if you're interested. And yeah, it's their parasite assassin. And so then it went into the physical, and I started feeling really a huge amount of die-off symptoms, really, really achy, and now I'm just really congested and stuff. So it started to move through. But yeah, I didn't know I was going to do a reading today. I just felt really guided to, which is kind of strange because, well, I don't know. We'll just see what comes through. But the energies have felt really strange to me. And I know it's not just because of this parasite cleanse, because what's interesting, what I'm noticing is that even people that aren't on a parasite cleanse are having a lot of the same symptoms that I am, so back pain and a lot of throat stuff, or stomach cramping or stuff like this. So it's very clear to me, and it's always, I'm so amazed how this happens over and over again. We can think that whatever we're going through is because of the circumstance that we're in. Oh, I'm having these symptoms because of the parasite cleanse. And it's no, I'm having the parasite cleanse because of the energy. I was guided to do it at this time. So Lionsgate was when I was laid out, and I had the worst of the worst back pain in the world, which was also when Laura Hazel, then find out later, was talking about the chakras through the spine and the cerebral spinal fluid and the black box, and the capping that we've had on our energy centers for eons being removed. And so it's of course we're having spine problems, or back pain, or whatever it is. Of course we're having pain in our throat and all throughout the different chakras if these things are being removed. So it was just really amazing, and to see that it wasn't just a circumstance. It's a parasite cleanse. However, it was hitting you. One woman was talking about her throat. She had a throat thing. I have a throat thing, I might be clearing my throat a lot. But for her, she was in ceremony, and she was feeling the repression of the suppression of the feminine voice, and was screaming, basically primal screaming, the release, feeling it also deeply on a cellular level around the same time that I was having my throat thing because of the parasite. So, you see how it's just, we're one movement, one collective, those of us that are on the same part of the wave. And so for whatever reason you think you might be feeling it, we're anchoring these energies, we're clearing these energies through our bodies as fractals of the earth. Together, in unison and support, positioned all around the globe, on the different ley lines. We're clearing as the earth is clearing, we're clearing through our bodies. So I know I've been joking around with a lot of people. I was reading down at the shop today, and then the woman and I were kind of powwowing when I left. I'm well, I might see you tomorrow unless I die. We just have this ongoing show. Maybe we're dying, I don't know, but we're not dying, we're not dying. We're transmuting. We're transmuting these energies. We're activating. We're clearing. We're doing huge, long-awaited movements within our bodies and within the earth, with the earth. And sometimes it's hard to believe and to feel steady and secure in that higher perspective, because it seems so out there, or so Pollyanna, or so almost irresponsible. But I know that a lot of us, if we if we really just sit and search our hearts, it's the same answers that come up for us. The same understanding, synchronicities with others, and so to listen to that inner wisdom and that inner knowing. Really is how we shed the programs and how we facilitate it. And it's part of the process too. We might think that we're going crazy or we're delusional or whatever, but we're not. We're awakening and we're understanding things through our higher energy centers as they're being activated and released. And so that's the other thing that I keep seeing in energy sessions is the new theme. For a while it was, and this is still happening as well, the clearing through the crown chakra. But now what I'm seeing is this funnel. So there was a synchronicity with my friend as well, who was doing some energy work up on the hill, and she was seeing a funnel shape as well. So we were like, oh wow, but anyway, the way it's presenting in the sessions that I'm a part of is just that there's so much that's coming online for people, more of themselves, more of their higher aspects, more of their psychic gifts, and yet it has to funnel in through our human bodies and through our mental bodies and our emotional body, and it's that strange dance of clearing and receiving at the same time, and doing it at a speed that we can handle, and I know often it feels like we can't handle it because we're just feeling so intense and so tired and so sleepless, and we feel like just the end of the road. Like another woman and I were communing over the fact that it kind of feels just like everything's over, and a lot of people that I'm talking with were like, God, we're no strangers to dark night of the souls. We've had like millions of them, one after another for like decades, and but this one feels really big again. Each one is feeling bigger and bigger, and yet you have that higher perspective and that higher feeling of safety. You understand what's going on, but yeah, there can just be a feeling of kind of like hopelessness along with that, but also to remember that that's part of what we're clearing, because we are moving out of a lot of really dense energies that we've been capped in for a really long time. And so, yeah, it's just really, really intense right now. That was also another reason why I wasn't feeling to come on and do a reading, because normally when I feel into the energies, my own energy or collective, of course, it's all fractal, the same thing, but I could interpret or decipher or have analogies or understand, but it just felt like really foggy. It felt really foggy, like I couldn't see anything. Like the brain fog, and that was even before the brain fog of the cleanse, and then a friend of mine was telling me that she had heard the same thing with remote viewers who they weren't able to get a read because there was too much in the field. So that's what I was feeling as well. There was just like so much leaving and so much coming in, and it was just like all like just weird, really weird, and couldn't read it and stuff like that. So I'm still kind of in that space, but I thought, well, I'll just, I just felt to read. So I'm just going to pull cards and see what comes up and out, and maybe we'll get some clarity. I don't know. So we're coming up on the full moon on Monday, so just a few days off. The woman I was with today was, she's been following, she's kind of an astrologer, following the astrology, and she was saying that there are a lot of T-squares right now, and a lot of, like, every single planet is involved, every single planet is being hit, which is again that feeling of like it's hit, there's so many different things going on at once in every level of our lives that some things are good and some are weird and some are confusing, and it's just this hodgepodge of like everything, and but what she was saying is after this full moon, things perhaps shifting. So maybe we're moving into that energy a little bit now. I don't know, but let's see what we get for an overall energy, just to read and just to connect. Okay, co-create. I changed my screen. I have this like interesting tripod thing that my dad gave me, and so I feel like I have more room now. I have more room to like for cards and myself, and but anyway, so Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit, yeah, okay, and that is number 8 card, so we still have that Lionsgate kind of energy that was coming up really strongly in a lot of the personal readings that I was doing, where it was like, oh my God, something really huge going on around Lionsgate, and that's when Laura was saying that kind of like black box energy, that Saturnian energy that's been capping us and blocking us for eons being removed. So yeah, a lot going on, and in terms of co-create with Spirit, it's just that divine timing where things are meant to happen now, and we can, and even like with this cleanse, it's like I've done parasite cleanses before and stuff like that, but it just also, when my linear mind did come in to kind of decipher the guidance, it was like, well, if everything is leaving, if we're at this point where the frequency on the planet, the new frequency has risen to a point where, because these denser energies that are capping us, it's like they can't can't really exist outside of the fourth dimension unless we're feeding them. And enough of us are waking up that we're not feeding them anymore, not in the same way that we were before. So they can't reach us in these higher frequencies, which we're starting to stabilize in. And so they're just, they're falling off. They can't follow us. They can't follow us through these portals and these stargates that we're going through. They're being left behind, and so there's a timing to that. There's a timing to that where if we might have done cleanses or we tried to do things before, it didn't really work because the cosmic soup that we were in, they still had us standing in, and now they don't. And so it is a really good time, I've realized, to do cleanses because, especially the parasite cleanses, because it's working. It's like once they're cleared out, then they're cleared out because we don't have the same sort of inner terrain where they can take hold again once they're cleared. It's just a matter of clearing them out, assisting, having a reflection on the physical outer level to what's going on and the energetics as well. So I think that's part of why I was guided. Okay, so it's funny, I'm moving into another oracle card right away. I don't normally do that, but I haven't read in a while. So influence. Oh, that's interesting. Influence. Well, we are being very influenced. Again, that's kind of going along with what I was just saying, very influenced by the energies around us right now. They're supporting us. They're helping us. What wasn't possible before is possible now. So even if we've had issues with people in our lives, or maybe narcissists or manipulators or people that always kind of have the upper hand, they just don't anymore. They don't have the influence, but the higher frequencies do. They are the structured water that's creating changes that weren't possible before. Great influence from the energies of what's going on right now. Just unprecedented what's happening, almost where, I'm almost seeing it more now that I'm reading into this, because it's happening on so many different levels. And again, all at once, that it's hard to track it. You just feel kind of like, and like my daughter and I will call it the blackout, where like all of a sudden when things start to click on, you're in the blackout, you're just in it, you're in the river, you're swimming, and you're just focusing on, just keeping up with the current, watching out for that rock, and, can't really stop and assess, you can't really stop and assess. But when you do, like with this reading, it's like seems really clear. So I took a break from everything because of the cleanse, and today I was reading down at Mystic, and I really felt that flow, and I really felt the collective energy of what's happening for a lot of us, that we're having access to more of ourselves, like I said, with that funnel stuff, but access to our gifts in ways that we didn't before. And we might not even realize it, but I'm seeing it, that it really is a theme that's happening. The Ace of Air says this is a card of synchronicity, where there's a lot, there's just a lot coming in, and noticing the synchronicity between you and other people, and things opening up in your life. So this is on the more positive end, rather than the clearing where everything's emptying out and kind of falling apart. You might be finding that certain people in your life or certain situations might be having conflict or upheaval, or for me, I had a couple of different people not pay me what they agreed they were going to pay me, and then they just kind of like ghosted me. And one guy, he did some painting for us. I never hire anybody to do anything. Like, I do everything myself, or I go without, or I like trade with people, and I was just going to treat myself, and I hired this guy to do this painting, and he did a horrible job. And then I asked for some of the money back, and he agreed, and then he actually blocked me. And so that kind of thing where you might be finding like unfortunate things, like people kind of dicking you over and stuff like that. But for me, because I was having this throat stuff at the same time, I knew it had to do with me speaking up and sticking up for myself. So I ended up posting on a forum for our community here, and I just shared with everybody what had happened, just to kind of warn them, about this person. And I never would have done that before, because I would have been like, oh, he's young, and I don't know, I just would have somehow been all compassionate and like just tried to protect him or something. But for me, it was about speaking up and standing up for myself, and just kind of showing the universe and my own inner feminine that like I have my own back, and I can just take action. I might do a small claims court and whatever, but it's not about the situation. It's not about the money. I don't really care about the money. Money goes, money comes, it doesn't really matter. You always have what you need if you hold and everything loosely and trust. But it's just responding to what guidance we might feel in relation. So there's still synchronicity in those things because everything is for us, by us, so whatever old energy, whatever chakra centers, energy centers we need to be clearing, there's going to be conflict in our lives to get us to confront whatever it is we need to confront about ourselves, those patterns, like me just being like too nice and too, trying to take care of everybody else, and just, letting shit happen to me, being too trusting, all the reflections that we can have in the areas where we're crunching, but it can seem like it's kind of coming out of left field. I've had a lot of that kind of weird stuff lately where I normally don't. I normally just kind of attract in like really awesome things, and not that I haven't had my trials. I've definitely had my trials. Oh my God! But but recently, yeah, it's like things have just been kind of flowy. So when something kind of, there's like a theme that keeps happening, that you're being asked to just clean up on levels, on levels that it's time for. So it's really actually quite positive, and seeing other things coming in, meeting people, having synchronicity, that guidance of how you're supposed to respond to things and how we're supposed to move, and so a lot of all of that going on. Let's see what else here. Oh, the Queen of Wands. Yeah, that's beautiful. So that's us. That's part of more of that funnel thing where, we're clearing through our upper chakras. A lot of people seeing that again in sessions, clearing and releasing and accessing. So we're not capped to just in our 7 energy centers. We're able to go beyond. We're able to go beyond into the higher centers, into higher aspects of ourselves through more clairs, the gifts, the cities that we've had throughout different lifetimes that are able to be accessed at this time, and being guided to them as well, and drawing in what we need, the people. So this is a card of magnetism, and here she is in this deck where she's like, oh my God, look at that fire that just appeared in my hand. I didn't even know that I could do that, and here she has, up into the upper realms, just where you have that antenna, you have that access, things starting to flesh out that you didn't know were possible, or even things manifesting or coming into your life, or opportunities, or whatever it is that just are mind-blowingly wonderful, because it's an expression, it's a reflection of you, because we're starting to access and live and anchor and embody more of our higher centers as things are clearing, the lower, the trapping systems that keep us in the lower chakras and in our lower energies, clearing the other energy centers coming on. And even for me, I'm seeing it in people that you wouldn't necessarily think it, like they might have just be kind of having like an apparently sort of like normal lifestyle, this type of thing. They might not even be having a lot of spiritual practices or that type of thing. They might not be like working for. It's just something that's happening because of the energies. It's happening for all of us to varying degrees, and you might not notice it unless you're seeing the fine-tuned, subtle energy movements in the energy body. But yeah, it being a theme, no matter who you are, and again, you might not realize it, right? You might not realize it because it is kind of behind the scenes. But again, paying attention to the synchronicities, the synchronicities and the people that you're meeting, and the opportunities that are coming in, including the weird things that are kind of like making you feel strange. It's still a manifestation. It's still about alignment. It's still about clearing. It's still about activation. So all of it being really supportive, even if it feels very odd. The Princess of Swords. So this is a card of clearing away the cobwebs, clearing away the dross, clearing away that which has been holding us down, all the things that are connected to programs that are in place, implanted in us, and then triggered all around through other programs, that other people are playing out, or that are part of the institutions, that it just kept us trapped. But all of that coming off, again, the sword of truth, the sword up in the air, up in the air, where more is coming online. The fog is clearing, the cobwebs are clearing. There has been a lot of spider stuff lately too. For me, just this time of year, we're just noticing a lot of webs and a lot of spiders and I've been clearing away a lot of cobwebs, like physically as well, and the webs and being caught in the web, and, just the analogies of, a sense of freedom coming in, a sense of freedom. That's a really nice message to tune into, because it has felt a little weird, it has felt, speaking of webs, almost like again, that cloudy, that foggy, where you can't really see. You can't see because there's so much going on. There's so much going on right now. And again, all of it being part of that synchronicity and part of what is clearing for us. This is also a card of clarity as well. But things unveiling, but again, it can feel kind of gross right now. It can feel kind of gross. It can feel painful and uncomfortable. So growth, not gross, but growth, that's exactly right. We are growing. That's a 5 card. That's a card of change, major growth, major clearing, major, hauling ass on every level to the point where you feel like you might, you might be losing it, but yeah, it's all for the sake of this movement and all really positive. So surrender, yeah, exactly. So just surrendering to this movement. Might keep this a kind of a short video. So my throat is kind of jacked up, but I just felt guided to come on and maybe just to bring a short message of encouragement if you are feeling a lot of intensity right now. So just surrendering to these movement. I love this color. This is like my favorite, absolute favorite color. That's the color actually that we painted my daughter's room, or that the room was painted, and now it's like kind of all over the ceilings and the carpet too. It's just like everywhere, but it's a gorgeous color, that combination of the root and the sacral chakras, where we are anchoring these energies and we are surrendering, even if we feel a little unsteady, or we feel like we don't know what's going on, or we feel like we're losing things. A lot of people are having job changes, or they know they need to move out of sort of that like root chakra in the survival way, where you're doing things you don't enjoy, moving into something that fulfills you more of your spiritual gifts. A lot of people talking about that. They want to move more into their offerings, their gifts, and a unique service that isn't just about the rat race, but also kind of fears around money and fears around how it's going to happen. And so that's been coming up in a lot of sessions lately, energy work sessions, of just that surrender and knowing that your higher self, your higher trajectory, and your guides, and all of that, the blueprint, the blueprint of your node points that play out in your life in specific divine timing, and the synchronicities that you will be guided into that next step. Meeting the right people, having the right opportunities, and just trusting and surrendering, and knowing that, especially, that nothing ever goes wrong, that everything is in service, and everything is about the unraveling of the old and the anchoring of the new, and just trusting what's going on, not spending, wasted time. If you are going through fear and, kind of overthinking and over-controlling, knowing that that's part of what's unraveling. It's like me with that program that defragged, where it was like it wasn't my voice anymore. It was this weird male, like walrus-sounding voice, where which is kind of how I sound right now, actually. But yeah, just separating out these programs, separating out where they don't catch us so much anymore. So knowing that if you are going through a lot of fear or control or hypervigilance or just panic, or some of that negative root chakra stuff, here's that same color again, knowing that you're clearing out those energy centers, so that you can bring more of this higher surrender energy in, where you're open to the synchronicities that are going to guide you. The more we can surrender and clear out the fear programs, which are programs, fear is a program, and doubt is a program. So the more we can release that and hold steady through these passages, the more we're clearing. So just reminding yourself, the more that you feel it, the more you're clearing it. Have that perspective, because it can move faster, instead of believing in the fear program, and then kind of like clogging things up, playing out the wheel. Just know when you're feeling it, you're clearing it, and then it can move faster. And and you can move that energy, because that's the point of it, just to clear it and move it, so that this higher energy can come in, and you can grow into those larger aspects of yourself, which are opening up and waiting for room to funnel in, so that they can anchor into your body, and change your energetic signature, right? They aren't just hanging out here anymore. They're anchored in your energy field, in your energy bodies, so that transmission is put out, and it changes your point of attraction, so that you draw in the things that are a match to you, and knowing that the things that are falling apart and clearing off are just helping you to clear the old programs that weren't in alignment with you, that were just conditioning or just hijack. And so all of that clearing out, allowing it, surrendering to the process, knowing that on the other side of this is more of you, more of your true expression, and more of what you're discovering about yourself. So let me pull a little bit more, actually. Okay, let's see. I did the angel cards twice. Oh yeah, benediction, exactly. So we're being gifted, we're being gifted more of ourselves, but this is a card of exactly that. It's like, here you go. Let our higher selves shine on us more of who we are. So remembering that that's what's coming on the other side of a lot of the things that we're clearing, a lot of the confusion. And so again, just having that higher perspective of allowing things, surrendering, allowing the process, knowing that you're safe, knowing that it's all for the sake of that which is coming to you. The gifts. This is like a gift card. It's being gifted, but it's being gifted from yourself, your higher self. And also, in reward, because when we're courageous and we can surrender in the face of uncomfortability or uncertainty or fearing a loss of security or home or job or money, or, and we have that radical surrender where we can allow, just allow our divine blueprint, our divine path, our lives to unfold, knowing that that it's not random. It's not random. It's not. That's the program. Again, that's the program. That's fear. Anything that evokes fear and doubt is the lie, and it's that which is clearing. And knowing that the truth of reality is that everything is for us, and that this energy is coming in to support us, clearing us out, activating us, and that we can trust that, and that what's coming is more of ourselves, and more of ourselves working in synchronicity and in tandem with others to create, the true Aquarian age, where we all bring forward our unique expression of the divine, but needing to clear out, and then that reward, in a sense, right, coming as a result of that, the courage of surrendering despite the fear, and so I know a lot of us have gotten to the point where we're like, hey, if I don't make it, if I'm wrong about this, and life really is random. First of all, for me, I'm like, if life is really is random and really is a shit show, then I don't care if I die. I don't want to be here anyway, But, I'm like, okay, I'm putting all my eggs in the basket of this ascension and of this consciousness. And if I don't make it this time, then that's what's meant to happen. If I die, I die. And confronting that, what greater fear than the fear of death, and just surrendering completely to whatever needs to happen. If I need to be homeless, or if I need to whatever, like, not needing to fear the survival stuff, because if we confront our death and we confront the worst case scenario, we're like, well, if that happens, I'll either die or I'll be okay, and I'll be the synchronicities will come and the right people will come. Again, the overall energy was co-create with spirit. So it's like we are held. It's just we're not often, a lot of us aren't used to, we're conditioned into fear, and we're conditioned into disempowerment, and we can, those are all the caps that we have on our chakras, instead of this, full surrender to life, knowing that benediction is our birthright. When we surrender, we get out of the way. And all we have to do is surrender and get out of the way and clear the stuff that's in the way. But that's exactly what these energies are doing right now for us. So when we can remember that and trust that process, then it can just flow, and we just know that we're from, the river goes to the ocean. We're being carried home. And this is what's on the other side of us, and we're seeing snippets of it already, but just to remember, and again, especially through that root chakra, where the true security is in faith and surrender, where you know that everything is for you, by you, and that this is one movement that we're all making together as a collective into the truth of reality, outside of the fear programs. And so the true expression of the root chakra, of that energy center, which is anchored in grace, anchored in surrender, not anchored in control and survival and having to make sure that you have everything because you might die, that true surrender, which brings you that benediction. So a strong message of that with the root chakra, because those colors really were sticking out for me. Look at this one with all of those tea lights, all of those candles lit up all around her, the sparks that are just with us, our spirits that are with us, again, that co-create with spirit, where we're held, we're carried on the sparks of our souls that have already written our timelines. We're safe. And so again, the message of safety, of surrender, anchored in spirit, anchored in flow, anchored in surrender. So all right, let me pull one last closing message. I think I'll do a goddess card. Almost at a half hour here. I don't know if I'm going to post this. We'll see. I just haven't done one in so long. And that's the other thing, when everything's like kind of leaving and rearranging, where it's like, just like willing to let go of everything, if it's not in alignment anymore. So, okay. Yeah, so there's Maya, the illusion, and that's exactly it. Just letting go of the illusion, letting go of the fear, letting go of the doubt, and having that radical leap and surrender. into what is waiting for us when we let go, and honoring the clearings, honoring the confusion, and just honoring the process and knowing this is a really big one. It's a really big movement that we're making right now, and I don't know. I don't have a feel of how long that lasts. My friend today was again talking about the full moon, and and perhaps things shifting then. But for now, we're still in it. We're still in it. But just a short message of encouragement, and remembering to surrender, and remembering what's real and remembering what's not real, and having the courage to take that leap. To open our arms, to our hands, to receive that which is coming, by allowing. And it's scary. It's hard to let go. It's hard to let go, and it's hard to trust when that survival stuff is up, and when all of your triggers and your wounds and your traumas are being triggered. But I feel like it is easier now. I feel like it is easier, and there are a lot of us doing this at the same time. So again, just a powwow of encouragement, and thank you for joining. And I will see you next time, whenever that is. Okay. And also, I am open for readings if you would like a FaceTime reading or a recorded reading. Also, energy clearings I've been doing on online, like after a reading, just scanning together with our higher selves and clearing energy in that way, verbally and through just connecting through the cards and through the energy and the images. And also, if you're in town, I'm reading on Mystic Thursday, and a lot of Fridays too, because I'm in town more these days. And also, energy sessions are available as well. So let me know if you're interested or would like support in any of those ways. Okay, much love to you all. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.